So in Wreckfest, a member of the community going by the name The Very End put together a track pack called The Very Track Pack, and it includes tracks from Destruction Derby 2. This is the first one, Pine Hills. And I just kind of wanted to compare the remakes to the original versions. So this is that same track. It's just a simple oval with two jumps. But obviously there's a lot more detail to this track than the original one that was on the PS1. And then we have Chalk Canyon next. I know The Very End makes modded tracks, but the Very Track Pack is a collection of all of just a selection of mods, I guess, that they thought were the best. And I don't believe they made every single mod that's in there. I don't know if they made these. This is where things get a little different, because as you can see, there's an extra road going up and around that wasn't in the original. But other than that, this track's exactly the same. At least, like, in concept. As far as like scaling and stuff goes, there's that big rock there that's not there in the original. But I'm pretty sure as far as like scaling goes, it's not like a one-to-one recreation. Not I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm sure it functions better in this like simcade game because it's different. And I just wanted to show off this alternate path that didn't exist in Destruction Derby 2. And this was the second track in that game, and I really feel like after this, the tracks just kind of aren't as good. The game kind of just throws like the two best tracks at you right at the beginning, and then like this track's just a simple flat course. There's no gimmick to this track.
He's way out in front.
And then here it is in Wreckfest. Honestly, when I first played this track in Wreckfest, I was like, I wonder if, like, I didn't realize it was from Destruction Derby 2 until I went back and played Destruction Derby 2 again just to, like, check how many tracks were in Wreckfest. And then, I noticed this was in Destruction Derby 2, and I was like, oh, I was literally playing this going like, oh, this is, like, a pretty realistic track. I wonder if this is a real-life track. And it's like, no, it's from Destruction Derby 2. Black Sail Valley is it's not a simple flat course like the last one, but so you got those crossover sections and then this little jump here, and that's it. The whole gimmick of this track is the crossover section. It seems like every track in Destruction Derby 2 just has like one thing that's like the thing that sets it apart from all the other tracks. So here it is in Wreckfest. Coming up to this jump. I forgot to mention I switched cars from the Road Slayer when I was playing Pine Hills at the beginning. After Pine Hills, because all of these tracks are so much more brutal, I switched to the Rocket because this thing is a tank. And then I didn't manage to do this in Destruction Derby 2, but in Wreckfest I did take both the left and right sides during the crossover. Yep, that's that track. We got the SCA Ultimate Destruction Speedway.
Driver, start your... 3, 2, 1, go!
I never noticed that roller coaster
Total destruction!
when you're coming out of the tunnel.
What a smash!
Also, like, as a kid, I never even made it past the first track, so, like, Pine Hills is, like, burned into my brain. I remembered those jumps because it was the only track I ever had unlocked. Never got to like Chalk Canyon or anything. Definitely never got here.
Whoa!
This was like you barely have enough speed to make that jump. I never managed to get the right side of the tunnel in Destruction Derby 2 there. I do get the right side of the tunnel in Wreckfest. But I feel like this track lends itself a little better to a game like Wreckfest where the main objective is racing. Like you're trying to come in first in Wreckfest. Whereas like in Destruction Derby 2 you were trying to spin people out to get points. Thus the only way to get points is spin people out. How much damage you do, how you hit them doesn't matter. It's just the more they spin, the more points you get. And it's really hard to spin people on a track that's that narrow. And when people are going down different paths like this, like it just makes more sense to be a race. That's one reason why it's real cool to see these tracks in here. Aside from nostalgia. One thing that does happen in Wreckfest that doesn't happen in Destruction Derby 2 is that left side of the tunnel gets completely clogged up because you have so much less health in this game than in Destruction Derby, and everybody's just wrecking in here, and it's barely wide enough for two cars. Yeah, I got there and was like, oh, that's it. Red Pike Arena. The only derby arena I had unlocked as a kid, so this was always like what I thought of with demolition derbies. A big hill in the that big it's a weird hill in the center of a giant bowl.
Wow! Total destruction!
I'm trying to drive backwards so I don't blow my radiator. That's how you wreck in this game. That's the only way you can wreck. You can lose all four wheels and still survive, like still be in the event. You're not eliminated unless your radiator gets blown. I actually wrecked somebody there somehow. I don't know who it was or how it happened, but I did it. Apparently, it was like 200 experience. Yeah. So anyway, this is Red Pike Arena in Wreckfest. Nice remake. And then here's some tracks that aren't in Wreckfest from Destruction Derby 2. At least not that I saw. Maybe I missed them. I have the very track pack and the very track pack 2 both installed. And I didn't see this track in there. But yeah, all of the remakes I think were pretty true to the originals. Were really good remakes that stuck to the original layouts of the track, but also if anything was added, it only really improved it for Wreckfest being more sim-cadey than just arcadey. I mean, I think Destruction Derby 2 is going to be more realistic, or is trying to be realistic, but by today's standards, it's very arcadey.
Wow!
But yeah. Yeah, so those were the only 2 tracks that weren't in the game, and now we're getting to the derby arenas that aren't in Wreckfest that I'm aware of. Maybe I just missed them again, but as far as I know. But also, like, just like that second track, it was a pretty simple racetrack that doesn't really stand out. And this is just a simple derby arena, which we already have in the base game. Again, the pit. This one, I guess in some ways it does stand out a bit. It's like the opposite of Red Pike Arena. Instead of it having like a hill, it has a little bowl in the center. Like there's a crater at the center of this one.
Wow! Total destruction! You lost your truck! Roadkill.
This derby I do manage to come in first. I'm fast forwarding because it takes forever. It was a really long event. Yep, 2 still running, so that's me and 1 other person. So this... This guy just would not die. And then I managed to get him. I had no back wheels. And this is a derby arena I would like to see in Wreckfest. The Death Bowl, where that whole right side there is just a cliff and you wreck as soon as you fall off it. Trying to stay away from it as much as possible.
Wow! Total destruction! Watch it!
And then after I was wrecked, it was longer. But yeah. This time, just to show it off, I stay over by the edge.
3, 2, 1, go!
So yeah, as soon as you fall, you just instantly wreck.
Wow! Total destruction!
This is a side-by-side comparison on Pine Hills. I wanted to, I had an idea to do this for every track, but then I realized you go so much faster in Destruction Derby 2. That like, I already finished a lap and a half there. Alright. Thanks for watching.